Hello and good evening. I'd like to start off by thanking the staff members of Duffins Bay, guests, and to our fellow graduates for gathering here on this special day of our graduation of grade 8. It was just 10 years ago we started school in JK. It seems like a blink of an eye. When we started in JK, we would, as the teachers like to say, learn by playing with toys for half a day at school. Look how smart our toys have made us today. When we were in SK, we would read The Three Little Pigs and act it out while reading. You should see how we tried to improve a drama now. Some of them were good. Grade 1 quickly came with the whole day of school, and when Mrs. Murphy would think one of us were talking too much, she would put them in charge of the class for the rest of the class to listen to. In grade 2, it was our big trip to Safety Village. We got to ride our cars around town, and some people, like Cam, got to experience a broken down car for a minute. I can't believe that in just a few years, we'll be driving a real car ourselves. And when somebody like Kyle gets a speeding ticket from Officer Shannon Payne, Kyle, you're going to want to call the best lawyer out there, Dylan Swam. There's also the time when Cam maybe put some glue in Kyle's hair. What a mess that was. Mrs. Martin, our grade 3 teacher. We were the last class Mrs. Martin taught before retiring. This was a really special year, and we had EQO for our first time as well. In grade 4, we had Mrs. Hadelman. Hey, put a sock in it. We all know that was her catchphrase. We had the best year-end party ever, with no music. It was so much more fun watching everyone dance to different beats in their head than the same one in sync. In grade 5, we had Mr. Schweitzer and Mrs. Morrissey. You know, in grade 5, I learned something really important. It was in the poems unit in language. Yeah, I'm not going to say who, but somebody over there, they decided to recite an amazing poem or quote, and it went like this. Friendship is like peeing your pants. Everyone can see it, but only you can feel the warmth of it. It's so true, too. When we had Miss Naples in grade 6, it was our big year. We had EQA again, and we had our overnight trip at Durham Forest. We played drama games around the campfire, we played manhunt in the forest, we did bird and wolf calls, and we ate the mints in our mouth that made sparks when we were eating them in the dark. And the 3.5 hours of sleep everybody was running on, it was a really fun experience and brought everyone even closer together. Halfway through the year, we started playing instruments. I hope all the valves on the instruments are okay, because I remember the time when Chris had to announce to Mrs. Cordetti and the class that his number 2 was stuck. There was also the time in spelling with Mrs. Shepherd, when Allison said she really had to go to the bathroom, or else she might explode. So Mrs. Shepherd let her, and when she came back in, Aaron asked,
Allison, did you explode?
And then Allison replied,
Oh yeah!
with 2 rocket fists and 1 knee. Grade 7 was our year for the big bridge building competition. We had one group set the new record. One day, when Jake is a construction worker, he'll be building some type of a building that Rena will be the interior designer for. Grade 7 was also our first year to join the band at Wonderland. There was Crazy Short Lines and Edward, who we thought we lost, who actually went off with another group of students. There was also Jeremy, who paid the price of a small Dairy Queen blizzard for a large because the worker didn't pay attention in time. But here we are now. We just finished our last year here at Duffins Bay. What can I say about this year? Well, I'm definitely not going to bring up the one time that Bowman translated his French homework. Not from English to French, but English to Spanish. And he tried to hand it in. However, I will bring up April 1st, 2011. All the pranks that were pulled. Mr. Nyman's desk went into the girls' change room. There was some crime scene body tape in his place. There was his evaluations book went missing. All of his markers were taped together. There was an equation on the board, 2 jailbreaks, and everyone got called down to the office in order to skip class. We just recently went to Wonderland for the band and had the best bus ride ever, with all our waving to the other cars and our cheers! Cheers! And huzzahs! Huzzah! And every stoplight, don't forget to turn left. That was a ton of fun. Now that we've reminisced in the past, I guess it's time to move on and talk about the future. But truth is, believe it or not, I've never been there. So I can't tell you guys what's going to happen, because who knows. But I do know that there are so few of us in our grade at our school that we all got the chance to know each other better, and we all got to have more of a relationship and friendship with one another. We got to see everyone's differences, and we're all accepting of these differences. This is what makes us such a special class. As we all move on and journey on to high school, we will all take our separate paths and meet new people, but this will only help us to grow as an individual. If you're afraid to go to high school, here's my word of advice to prepare you for the next 4 years. Suck it up, because you're going to high school anyway. Really though, let's just make the most of these next 4 years and remember the 3 most important words Mrs. Cordetti drilled into us. Do the work. And do your best at it too. If you're going to do the work, do something you're going to be proud of and get a good mark out of it. An important thing to do though is make good choices. Especially, this includes first impressions. Especially on your teachers. You never know, maybe that's where those extra couple marks came from. You also have to be well organized and don't procrastinate. You also have to accept this change that we're moving on to high school. Some people will say it's the best or worst 4 years of your life. High school is only as good as you make it. By making the right choices and experiencing new opportunities, high school will be nothing short of amazing. I'd like to thank my classmates for the honor of being chosen to be your voice here tonight's valedictorian. I am truly humbled. I've been told many times by many people that I tell really, really good stories. These people were being really, really sarcastic. I hope that tonight I told an amazing tale that you'll remember for quite a long time. Graduating class of 2011, it's been a huge party here at Deppins Bay, and everyone definitely made school more fun than it's intended to be. I can't wait for us to take this party to high school and add all of our new friends that we make to this big bash of ours. I read a quote that I really think resembles us. This class is like a 4-leaf clover. Hard to find, yet lucky to have. Congratulations everyone, and thank you.